everyone, I'm Vanessa and today I'm here to do my November wrap-up. So I did not get to read very much in November, which we all knew. It was in my TBR. I knew it was going to happen. Pretty much everything that I read was either for school or for book club. But the one book that I did squeeze in just for funsies was The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, and this was so good. Just so enjoyable. Pure fun. Just pure unadulterated fun and enjoyment and happiness. And I really like, I mean, maybe it's because I was starved for those things amidst all of the other books I had to read this month, but either way, I really enjoyed it. This is basically about this girl who goes to court with the intention of seducing and marrying the king because she just wants to kill him and take his throne. Like, that's her whole plan, and she's not ashamed of it. And neither am I as a reader, to be honest. You know what? Do your thing, girl. I don't know, it was just refreshing and it was a fun point of view to be in. It's just straight up like, I want to become royalty. I want to marry the king. I am an evil person. I have committed murder and I will do it again. I think the only thing that I could complain about in this book is that even though it's conversations around female sexuality and like consent and sex positivity for women were really cool and really refreshing, there is this one conversation that happens where, you know, the women are all together and they're talking about how you shouldn't have to wait until marriage, virginity shouldn't be such a big deal, but you know, one of them does want to wait until marriage, and that's okay too, and that's something that people also need to respect when we're talking about these conversations. But then the conversation, the same page, the same conversation switches to one of the other girls talking about how her boyfriend wants to wait and she doesn't, and then the conversation is about what she could try to do to seduce him or convince him otherwise and stuff like that. And I thought that was like a little double standardy, you know what I mean? Like, just like a little hypocritical in that one conversation. So that was like my only complaint throughout the entire book, but other than that, this was just a fun A+ read. And then the other book that I read that was not for school, but it was for book club was Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy, and this is a book set in, oh, I don't even know what time period. I think like 17 or 1800s. Hey, knock it off. Be nice to your sister. Fucking cats, am I right? Anyways, it's set in like rural England and it follows this woman named Bathsheba and all of the men around her who are like in love with her. And it's just, I don't know, it was really soap opera-y and really fun to read. Also, Thomas Hardy's writing is extremely funny. There were so many times where his descriptions or his turn of phrase or even just like an event that would happen is just so humorous. I should point out that it's not all fun and games though. Like, there are some pretty serious, pretty tragic things that happen in this book, but overall this was a really fun book to read. So moving on to the books that I read for school, I read Dracula. I am writing my senior project on Dracula and I could not be having more fun with, that's a lie, I could be having much more fun. I'm happy about the paper topic that I chose and I really enjoyed rereading Dracula and just falling even more in love with this book. I don't know why more people do not put some respect on Dracula's name. This is a damn good classic. And Mina Harker is one of the most badass, awesome female characters that's ever been written, and that is a hill that I will die on. The next book I read for school was The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I absolutely loved. I knew that I would because it's Oscar Wilde. I love his writing and his humor in general, and this book was super interesting. It's about a man who, he does not age, he does not get any like physical signs of the things he's done or the things that have happened to him on his body. It all happens to the painting. So he's staying like young and immortal and looking like this innocent young man, and this painting is just like all of his sins and all of the things that he's doing, which he's doing a lot of very bad things. Those are all showing up on the painting instead of on him. So I think that's a really interesting concept and I'm really glad that we got to read this in class. And then the last book that I read for my independent studies class with my German professor was Farewell My Lovely by Raymond Chandler. This is a detective novel. I think it was like one of the first just like really classic, iconic, hard-boiled detective things going on, which I'll be honest is not really my genre of choice, but this was fun to read. It was enjoyable. The author's writing style, he had a way of phrasing things that would usually be phrased as like a cliche and just giving some really random, fresh description, and I don't know, it was just kind of fun to read that way. So, you know, it's not exactly my genre, and it also had its own problems. It was written in the 30s, so a lot of stuff comes with that time period. But it definitely was not the worst thing that I've had to read for school, and the writing style and everything made it pretty fun and pretty enjoyable. So that was everything that I've read in November. I am glad that the month is over. I'm glad that the semester is almost over, and I will hopefully have a little free time on Christmas break to just relax. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what your favorite thing that you read in November was. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I get to talk to you soon. Bye!